has your son seen that? It was like the second Pokemon movie, I think, the one with Entei and Unknown. I wonder if that's like, I'm always curious like how people like end up liking certain Pokemon. Oh my gosh, this is a core breaker. Okay, let's see what we can do. Oh, interesting. 5, 6. I pretty much need to just no shield, unfortunately. Pretty sure it's a crunch. Yeah, it's not the anything on my Mantine's like walled off by this thing too. 5, 6. Okay. If there were Ice Beam, what do I do? Double shield this Carbink? I'm so weak to this thing. It's crazy. Let's see how much it does. Shadow Mirror Shots. Stab. Ooh. This. Can I take this out? Oh my gosh! Did we beat a Shadow Magnezone? That'd be kind of nuts. They're gonna get a Volt Switch off of me. Wait. Oh, let's go. Dude, that's nuts. That was actually, yeah, that was not an easy match. Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I'll be covering a team that I've been using in Great League, and it's been a lot of fun. Overall, the team has a lot of neutral play in various matchups, so at times the team can feel harder to play because you don't have clear answers to things, but a lot of times your opponents don't have clear answers to your Pokemon as well. So the team revolves around Mantine with the Goodra, now with the Community Day move Thunder Punch, and Carbink. Let's dive into the battles to see how I did with it. Before we get into the battles, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to all my patrons who've been supporting my content creation. If you'd like private one-on-one coaching, scrims against me, some of my league guides and strategies ahead of time, or even tune into my live stream battles, feel free to sign up through the Patreon link down below. I'm going to showcase 2 back-to-back sets with this team. Face a lot of tough opponents in the process as well. And this was earlier this week too, so my elo is a little bit lower than it is right now. But you can see that I'm just on the cusp of veteran at this point in time. Fantastic lead in the Feraligatr. Honestly, regardless if it's Crunch or Ice Beam, this is going to be a good situation to be in. They actually went for the Hydro Cannon, so went for a potential bait there. And they ended up not shielding, so it's kind of interesting. That being said, we're going to swap over to the Goodra, catching a Thunder Punch, which is kind of nice as well. But we have 2 great answers to it in the back. And of course, Gligar here. I find that a lot of teams have Gligar for obvious reasons because it's really good. But also, a lot of times when they stay in matchups that they shouldn't in the lead, usually it's because they have a Gligar in the back. And you have a lot of play into Gligar with this team. So, it's pretty good. Probably was not worth the shield there. It's kind of my mistake. Maybe just lost track of counting there a little bit. But we'll get this aerial ace off, and either way, at this point in time, it's pretty much over. Shout out Typhlosion, not very good into this team in general, so you have a lot of play into that. Trevenant, fantastic lead. I also find that you catch a lot of good leads with this team. Now, some people might be thinking, went for the catch there on some awkward timing, but managed to get it, which is kind of nice. But some people might be thinking, how do you beat Bastiodon with this team, right? Bastiodon's super strong, or steel types in general. Lone Sand Slash is something you see quite often. But I actually win most of those games, and we'll showcase some of those. I did face at least 2 Bastiodon in this set. But I faced quite a bit of Lone Sand Slash. Lone Sand Slash is very strong, but the whole team has a lot of play still into it. Even Goodra's not too bad, especially if they're running Shadow Claw. But opponent here is going to throw right on Charge Check Priority. Good timing by them. But we don't know what's in the back yet. I come in Goodra because I'm going to resist that damage anyway. Ends up being a Vigoroth. So kind of a weird situation because Mantine is good into it, but you know, you never know. It's not like doesn't hard beat it, right? Rock Slide is still very effective against it. I think I'm going to just save my shields for the Goodra at this point. Yeah, if I just weaken this enough, I should be in a good spot. I'm going to go for Ice Beam, a little bit more damage than Aerial Ace. And yeah, we put it quite low. And now we can just pretty much Dragon Breath down. Might have to shield one thing here, but that's fine. Yeah, the opponent quits out here. Then we get to double moves. All right, Azumarill has a lot of neutral play into the entire team. It's very strong in the Goodra as well. But like I said, the team has a lot of neutral play in a lot of situations, so you just kind of have to chip somewhere here or there, or just kind of soft lose in certain situations. Personally speaking, I like to stay in with Mantine and just shield once and take out the Azumarill after that. Usually you should be able to. And I know that a decent amount of my patrons actually was running this team, and some grew to like it, others did not really. We're not really able to get the hang of it, so I think it just depends on personal preference. But personally speaking, I think this team is a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of maybe not clear matchups, but that's what makes it really good, because it allows for a lot of mid to late game decision making that helps you kind of find your win conditions. Great catch by opponent though to catch the aerial ice. But we now come in with the Goodra, which is pretty good. They gave us switch advantage, but they still have the Zoomer in the back. I don't remember if it has energy. I don't actually think it does. So it's kind of a weird catch. I think it's a good catch, I guess, in some ways. But at the same time, too, I don't know. If they don't have energy, then maybe it's not as useful. I end up catching a Dig, though, which actually ends up throwing me off more than anything else. Funny enough, if I just stayed in that matchup, I probably just win this because I get the Moonblast off. But instead, we end up catching a super effective Dig. And I knew it was probably going to be a Dig, but I was thinking that they're probably going to be weaker to the Goodra in the back by any means, but it turns out not to be the case. The boost didn't help, but they're going to win that either way without the boost. So, I made a catch too, but my catch was much worse than theirs. Shadow Gligar. So, regardless if you have Water Pulse or Ice Beam, pretty much every one of them shields your potential Water Pulse or Ice Beam. So I go straight for the bait here. You could get to another one, and you could typically tank another Aerial Ice, assuming you have bulky enough Mantine. This is kind of risky. I went straight for the Ice Beam. You could also just like tank the move and pause for a little bit and then throw if you want to avoid them catching. I find that almost every single Shadow Gligar I see in this scenario will double shield, and they'll go straight Aerial Ice. I've seen this play out maybe 5-6 times, and every single player plays it exactly the same way. It's always worth shielding that Aerial Ace, though, in my opinion, because even if it's an obvious Aerial Ace, you just want to make sure that you have enough health for whatever they have in the back. It'll get fast stacked down. So we're in a pretty good spot right now. Still have a shield remaining. And I just see that Goodra bounce a little bit. Kind of funky. But, and again, shielding that Aerial Ace came in handy, right? Because then I get off the Thunder Punch. And now we're in a fantastic position with the Carbink. If I don't shield that, I don't get the Thunder Punch off. They actually had Ice Beam. I was surprised they were going to throw Ice Beam from at that health range. But they went for it. We could tank the Dig, no problem. And able to finish off the opponent right there. Alright, Goodra in the lead. I find that at least the ones I play against, none of them shield this Ice Beam for whatever reason. So I always shield the potential Thunderbolts or Thunder Punch because it does double super effective damage. I think maybe most of these Goodra users maybe see a lot of bait scenarios. I don't know. But the moment you land this move, it's fantastic because you can swap over, and no energy they have is going to be meaningful, right, against the Goodra. So it puts you in a good spot. Even if you don't land it, you can also swap over too. They actually come in Skeletor, which is kind of interesting. No idea what they have in the back. But at this point in time, between Mantine and Carbink, you have really great coverage outside of some of the steals. But outside of that, you have pretty much perfect coverage for each other for the most part. So puts you in a pretty good position. Water Gun Lantern's kind of a core breaker as well, but you don't see that super often. Great catch by my opponent, actually, to catch the move on their Goodra. But we still have the Mantine here. I think this is Doombug. Is Doombug? I don't know. I remember I faced Doombug in one of these battles, but I don't remember specifically which one. I think maybe it's this one because I remember him making a decent, really good catch there, and the Moonblast catch was quite nice. Okay, so we just need to get to potentially double Aerial Ace. I probably should have done that one first, but I think I was going to lose Charge Attack priority either way there, so probably not a big deal. I didn't get debuffed either, which is nice, and even if I did, I think this would have been enough. But able to finish it off here and clean up against the back end matchup. All right, so we went 4-1. The one game we lost, I probably just win if I just didn't try to go for the catch there. But at the same time, I didn't know what they had in the back, right? So I would say that's a very reasonable loss, all things considered. Okay, Bastiodon. How do I beat Bastiodon? So obviously, nothing on the team beats Bastiodon. Goodra is actually your best situation. And something I found is that if a Bastiodon's in the lead, they typically don't have a Charmer in the back or a Fairy type. They typically have like double grass or something weird like that, but they typically don't have a Wigglytuff or, you know, a Charmer or something like that. I find that typically speaking, when there's a Bastiodon in the back, there tends to be like a Wigglytuff or a Charmer in the lead. So you can see right here, I'm actually able to flip switch, and I choose not to. And that's actually going to bite me a little bit. So I come in with the Carbink, but I could have Dragon Breath this down, right? And then they actually had Shadow Victory Bell. I was thinking they had double grass in the back, but looking back on it, it's not the best thought process, because if they didn't have a counter to Mantine in the back, they wouldn't have stayed in with Bastiodon so long. So what I should have done is just fall for switch, and then I get my Carbink on the Mantine, and then my Mantine on the Victory Bell, and then we just win. So even this game, even though I lose it, it's very doable for me to beat the Bastiodon team, right? It looks pretty impossible, but again, like I said, there's going to be another one later, so we're going to see how that unfolds. Getting Charge Attack priority is pretty nice here, for sure. But yeah, they just have way too much health. If they have a shield, I don't even know if I get some move in time. I think they still outpace me, but yeah, so good games to them. We have a Whimsicott in the lead, which is fantastic for me. It's very strong into the back end. And then Carbink is just kind of a menace. Honestly, this damage from Blast Burn from Typhlosion is actually a decent amount of damage. This opponent went Thunder Punch for some reason. But I think Blast Burn is actually more energy efficient. So I recommend that if you have the option to. But maybe 2 Thunder Punches is better than 1 Blast Burn. Not sure. Either way, we get the Moonblast off. It's going to be a lot of damage, which is quite nice. And yeah, let's see what the opponent has in the back end here. C-Bomb, not quite enough to take it out, but puts me in an okay position. So Mantine obviously very, very strong into this team, but I need Goodra for something, so I'm going to bring it out against the Poliwrath. And I'm actually going to go for a bait here, just because why not? I figured they're probably going to shield. And then this is a very obvious Aqua Tail, but I just want to get the damage off before they get the Icy Wind off. And then now we're not going to shield. I think we're going to get debuff, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. And I choose not to shield again. So maybe this is a mistake. I don't know. That's a lot of damage. But Mantine is on the bulkier side. For those that are ever wondering what Mantine's bulk is, it has the same exact stat product as Skarmory. So whatever, Skarmory sometimes feels bulkier to a degree because of the typing, but they have the same exact stats down to the wire. So same thing with Kyogre and Groudon. A little fun fact for you today. All right, another Goodra. Again, I just go straight Ice Beam, and typically they never shield. This opponent actually didn't even throw their move yet, so now that I swap to Goodra, I get a ton of value. Even if they threw a move, it would have been likely resisted. And they don't have time to get the Draco at that point, right? But I was able to get the Dragon Breath down, so that's actually even more beneficial. Yeah, pretty massive advantage there. And then, yeah, they get to move. Probably going to be Aerial Ace baits, but actually, no, they went for Dig. Okay. So even better. Big shield from me, for sure. And then we get potentially another Aerial Ace. I think I'm just going to go for the Dragon Breath down. Just try to take it out. I should come in with the Mantine. This is actually quite good for me because we draw the Quagsire, and Quagsire would have been pretty disastrous for that Carbink in the back. Have a slight energy lead as well coming into this matchup on the Mantine, which is nice. And then, yeah, we get this matchup, which is perfect. I just need to put it in Rock Tail range at this point, and we should be good to go. And unfortunately, it's actually just going to be Aqua Tail. So, able to win out this matchup without even showing the Carbink, which is pretty good. But yeah, anytime you could like just Dragon Breath down their Goodra, even if you come into their Goodra with a lot of energy, almost no one's running Draco Meteor at this point in time, so it's just going to be all resisted damage. Makes the matchup really nice. Alright, so this opponent is running Wigglytuff lead. Anytime they run Wigglytuff lead, you should always be careful that they have a Shadow Victory Bell and Bastiodon on the back. That being said, they don't shield any of these, so I'm going to try to get to another move, and it looks like, yeah, okay, so we're able to win Switch, which is quite nice. And then they come in Shadow Victory Bell, I come in Goodra. I have a Shield Advantage though, which is quite nice, and it took them a second to swap out. And like I said, this team loses the Bastiodon, but does it really? So, you want to make sure you optimize as much as possible, right? Get every bit of energy you can in this matchup. It's, yeah, uncomfortable for the Goodra, but also at the same time, you do quite a bit of damage with the Aqua Tail spams, and even the Dragon Breath resisted progressively adding up. Goodra is also slightly tankier than some other dragons that people might be used to using outside Altaria. So because of that, it can actually take a decent amount of these smackdowns. You can see the Goodra actually beating the Bastiodon. Obviously, I spent an extra shield in them, but it's not too bad. And then now, yes, I get Acid Sprayed, but I get the full Rock Throw down. My Goodra's still alive, and we win it. So like I said, Bastiodon, it's fine, right? As someone that plays a ton of Bastiodon, I'm very familiar with kind of ways to beat it, and there's honestly a lot more ways to beat it than one would think. Okay, this person is running a Hakamo-o. Not super common, but we do see it here in this matchup. Mantine is going to be your main Feraligatr check anyway, so definitely just decide to stay in here, see what happens, and they get to just a Hydro Cannon, so going to be quite nice. I can always pivot out, essentially, and here comes the Lantern. I don't really want to pivot out at this moment in time, so what I'm going to do instead is just chip down this Lantern as much as I could, and then just come in Goodra and then have the Hakamo on my Carbink. And honestly, Carbink over time is going to really wear down this Hakamo, even though the Rock Throws are resisted. Even the Rock Sliders resisted, it's going to do a decent amount of damage, so I could easily just go straight Baits here. I went straight Moonblast, actually, which actually in hindsight is actually a good idea too, because they might not shield, I don't know. But they didn't shield. So, we finished off this set. Is it another 4-1 or 5-0? I'm actually not sure. Might have been just a 4-1 because I think I lost somewhere there. But overall, that's the team. You can see climbing past Veteran now and slowly getting to that Legend mark. There's going to be matchups that aren't as clear-cut and dry, so knowing your counts and chipping and dipping a lot in these situations are going to be the difference maker. It is definitely, I would say, maybe a more high skill team than some other ones. But with some practice, I think it could be really good. If you like this video, give it a like and share. Subscribe for future content. Hit that notification bell to get alerted right when I post a new video. And I'll catch you all next time. Have a great weekend. Bye.